Hey fellas, well, with the Avengers Endgame making billions of dollars and me winding down my luck in the Marvel Studios films, I thought I would actually just share my few wish lists on not with Detective Pikachu about to come out, on another potential Pokemon, potential Cinematic Universe, because apparently, as per some comments from the creators, they apparently, if the film is a success, they would like to potentially make this into a Cinematic Universe of its own. So Oh, I'm just gonna keep this to like six potential things I'd like to see in it because I will admit for every one that's been a hit like Marvel, there have been many ones that never got like off the ground, such as the infamous Dark Universe, and but that'll be in a matter of another day. So I will definitely give you my six of my things on my wish list for a Pokemon Cinematic Universe. So let's get started. This obviously goes without saying, but I'm actually kind of glad that this is the first thing they're obviously attempting to do based on what have they already established so far. Like even just the promotional material alone, they've established that rather than trying to just simply cram about 20 audio video game mythology and over 1,000 episodes of TV in just one movie, they are actually making an effort to make sure the world is fully realized as with its sitting characters. I mean, the film is going to feature at least 60 of the 800 or so Pokemon available to them, and they've outright said they want to eventually get to use them all in some way, and I totally agree with that. Whether it's something like a they do at least in some way that other regions exist, like given how everything from Kanto Alola has been crammed in some way, be it monsters, some other stuff. Even though Sword and Shield weren't yet announced at the time, I definitely would like to see how they would do this, given how Marvel's managed to do everything from it takes over from Asgard to Wakanda, and even find the weird and wonderful and everyday cities. So, which brings my next point. While they've always expressed interest in a sequel by the various 22 Jump Street, as well as doing their own story involving Mewtwo, as well as a potential Red Blue adaptation, these are all good ideas. I definitely would like to see them do more, even more than this, should this succeed. Whether that's going to be involving existing characters we've seen before or ones we haven't, I'm all for this. I mean, like even the way they're approaching this one, they are taking some creative license, but it makes sense for the different medium. Because they still have the basic idea behind the game and just doing using it as launching on point. And so I definitely could see them not only how they would handle other regions like Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, and Alola, and possibly Gale if they would get that far. But I also definitely could see them doing things like Ore, the whole Mad Max esque environment in Colosseum Gale of Darkness, presents a lot of opportunities, and I mean, again, you going back to the Marvel example, I've done everything from having Afrofuturistic as a movie with an African American main cast to having Paul Rudd as an Ant Man. So lots of things you could do that way. I mean, in a very fun heist film, there's a lot of characters they can do. And even though it wasn't quite what I was expecting for this one, I actually kind of like that, which also gives me other another thing to talk about, which will naturally transition to my next point. This is definitely something I definitely want to see more of, given how it's not just as each actor's background, it's also how right for each part in my book. I mean, which is a problem that has been a widespread one in anime video game adaptations over the years, and I'll probably be addressing that fairly soon. Some of the videos I got planned, but for the time being, I definitely want to have the right cast member for each character. Sometimes you don't always know how, and not everybody has the opportunity to see how it's going to be received later on. And so it's not just as in terms of nationality. I would definitely want each character to try and faithfully represent and convincingly play hey, who they're going to be, even if they're going to be cast in future movies. So, and hopefully, hey, they'll be able to get this down if they want to have other protagonists or supporting characters in the future. Like, I have no objections to who who's seen something like in the Harry Potter series where they cast younger, lesser known actors and be able to let them age in the roles over a period of time. And right now, I'm thinking that the way they're approaching Tim's character might be kind of like a sort of like a awkward kind of Scamander type character where rather than like an adventurer like Red, Ash, or Harry, they're kind of more of a some schmo who's just used to doing desk work, and actually kind of unconventional for a hero. And I think I like that idea, to be honest. As- I mean, you should try and make the character or make the casting right for each character, not the other way around. It's just a mentality I think it needs to stop, but I don't want to get too off track because those are the other points I can address here. One thing I've always been impressed by the series is how it makes manage to make each part of its world look visually distinct, and this film, I'm glad, is no exception. How they could have easily relied solely on CGI to bring each character her insight into life, but I'm actually quite glad that they've managed to shoot on film and film as much as they can on practical sets and on location in order to make everything seem very like a real world version of this. I mean, similar to Fantastic Beasts films, and especially just in the footage I've already seen, and it's already clear to me that this element they've got down, and they can definitely keep that up for any future movies. I would definitely be happy for that. Whatever the case might be, I definitely know that this should not be a problem since whether you're dealing with an Iron Man and a God of Thunder, a Super Soldier, an Incredible Hulk, or a bunch of cosmic Guardians of the Galaxy. For any time they want to dip into the visual fidelity, they've got a lot they can work with already. And that's also my next point I'm going to be addressing. So, while you may not be able to sell a series of action battles alone, despite what some fans might think, I agree this is an important element to get right. I mean, while I'm still not sure what to think of the logistics, the way that they're pushing it in this movie, given how, again, I'm working on my second playthrough of the game, and I don't recall that being a big thing there. I mean, here, but I actually kind of like the way they're approaching it since actually it should make for some creative action set pieces. I mean, over the years, I mean, anytime that they can definitely do this. I mean, one thing I've been waiting for is the technology to pull this off. As I can address my last point. I mean, I was expecting them to do something like kind of like in Smash Brothers or Pokemon, but they went all out with it. I'm actually kind of glad that they're doing this, man. That's yes, and best of all, I can actually tell what's going on. Unlike say like the Murder Ball and I need a Battle Angel, and that's just gonna be part of my last point of this video, which will definitely be helping wrap this up. I mean, many people have tried to chase this whole trend cinematic universe, but few have been able to capture the similar success that Marvel has had with that. Like even DC, hey, even though the continuity is still relatively the same as of Aquaman, Shazam, Wonder Woman, they're focusing more on the standalone aspect of each movie rather than the whole shared universe aspect. So the trick is to expand the universe in the right way. I mean, hey, since after the first movie has come out, that's when you can officially he starts setting his plans in motion. I mean, this is actually avoiding the same mistakes other people have made. Like most infamously the Dark Universe, where they wanted to basically they tried to cram a whole franchise worth of material into a single every 5 minute movie, and I'm still working on getting that. That's how I might do that, but personally, I'm gonna be addressing how that's textbooks out how not to do it. I mean, right since and even though well, I've been listening to from time to midnight to this podcast, I mean, and even though I don't agree everything they say, they do overall have a takeaway on how what can go wrong. It's like to don't go out and announce cinematic universe before you know the audience actually wants it. Otherwise, it's going to be embarrassing for everybody, given how the people that were involved in the follow-ups have been moving on to other projects, especially like this proposed by Frankenstein remake by Bill Condon, who they initially delayed that before outright canceling altogether. I mean, I would definitely like this to maybe be more of like a Marvel kind of situation where it's creation after work rather than something like like the like the Dark Universe where it basically is non-stop out of the gate, and at the very least, you can tell that Pikachu has more pop culture relevance than King Arthur does. I mean, like they tried to basically turn King Arthur into Route 300 by way of Lock, Suckers, and Smoking Barrels. It didn't really work out too well. So that's just my brief thoughts on this matter and things I might like to see in the cinematic universe. So if this movie's a hit, I'll be talking about the spoilers about the videos I got planned. What might you like to see in Pokemon Cinematic Universe? If you really let me know, and I'll talk to you all later.